opportunity to speak out in ways that matter, and to finally embrace our use of speech that can ultimately change and shift things that are going on. We also know that in today's highly connected environment, where connectivity is fast, cheap, easy, and the complexity of that information is absolutely invisible, we know that our ability to speak, our ability to communicate, is more important than at any other time. It's never been easier to reach out and engage people instantly and build a following of millions in ways that can move and shape what we think, what we feel, what we buy. So my goal today is to motivate you to embrace your own power of speech for both personal and professional success. We'll talk about why we're afraid to speak, the things that keep us from talking about the things that matter. Then, second, we'll talk about how we can speak out and use our voices in ways to change the things we want to see in the world. And finally, how we can embrace our senses of self and be comfortable with our own sense of power. So, death, snakes, and public speaking. What do these things have in common? That's not a rhetorical question, it's an actual question. Death, snakes, public speaking, what do these things have in common? Fears. They're the top fear. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, around 74% of people say that they would place public speaking or getting up in front of people as their number one fear over death. It's like, death and snakes, which is understandable because snakes are monsters, and I don't know why we have them. And yet, we know that so much of what we understand comes out of that sense of fear. Now, I've spent the last 15 years working and coaching people to be better speakers. I've made my entire life about helping people get the right messages to the right people at the right time. And how I got from a person who was afraid to get up and talk to people to the person in front of me today is part of that journey. But when I work with people, whether it's a student in an undergraduate public speaking class, or a captain of industry, or a CEO at Caterpillar where I used to work in corporate PR, whether I work for any of those folks, they ultimately have some kind of fear. And yet, I decided to go on to get my master's degree and PhD in communication, and I thought, let me study rhetoric and public speaking. And what I learned over 17 years of study was that everything we know about presentations and public speaking is extraordinarily simple. In fact, it's really simple. And if it's so simple, that led me to question one thing. If it's so simple to do, why aren't people doing it? Why are people so afraid of it if it's not that complicated when you actually think about it? Well, that comes down to two things. Our fears are motivated first by our fear to be good. I have a theory that says, my really moment came after looking at all the research about glossophobia, or the fear of public speaking, I realized that people aren't afraid to be bad. In fact, we're choosing to be bad. Think about the worst presentations you have ever seen. Usually, it involves people kind of coming up and they're very, or it's an event where people feel a little uncomfortable, and so what they do is they have a script in front of them. And immediately, their head goes down, and they read every single word along there. So it's weird that in that moment, we're not afraid to be bad, but we're choosing that. If this stuff is so accessible, my theory is, in fact, that we're not afraid to be bad, but we're afraid to be good. We're afraid to be effective. If we're effective as presenters, that means that we are comfortable with our ability to influence others. And most people are really uncomfortable with that. If we are uncomfortable with our ability to influence others, that means that we are uncomfortable with our own sense of power. And that was true for me. I was uncomfortable with my sense of power because I always felt like I wasn't good enough. I always felt like because of the way that I spoke and because of how I spoke it, people never would take anything I said seriously. Coupled with the fact that because I was a child with a lisp, my middle school years were really easy. You can imagine the kinds of things people would say to me. I remember in 5th grade, I got up to give a presentation at one of those book reports, and two students named Adam Wilmshorst and Michael Matoma, and you know you've got some deep-seated psychological trauma when you remember their exact names. I'm up there in front of everybody, just like I am now, and they reach over and they look down at my paper and it says, this is Adam likes guys, what a fag. And everybody laughed, and everybody joked, and and I was shut down. After that, I didn't want to speak anymore. I didn't want to speak because I was afraid of the power that would exchange from me. It went from being about me to being about them. And all of a sudden, I felt like every time I talked, someone was going to take that power from me. Someone was going to deny my ability to speak. Someone was going to deny my sense of voice. We're afraid to be good because we're afraid that if we can influence others, then we're responsible for the emotions we give. And most people can't handle that sense of responsibility. If we accept the personal responsibility to shape a moment, then all of a sudden that means that we're responsible for what everybody's thinking and feeling. Most people can't handle that. We deny that sense of ourselves, and that leads to self-doubt. Our ability to self-doubt tells us that we shouldn't do X, Y, and Z. And in each of us, there's a little voice inside that's telling us what to do. But what happens is we drown that voice with saying, I don't know if that's going to work, or here's why that's going to be troublesome, or here's why that's going to be difficult, here's why that's going to be awful, here's why people are going to make fun of that. And then what we don't do is we don't speak on it. We don't say anything. We think it's going to be somebody else's responsibility. Our fears hold us back. One of my favorite writers, her name is Audre Lorde. She writes this essay in the beginning of her career, and she's a major poet, and she was diagnosed with terminal breast cancer. And she writes this essay, and when I read it when I was a graduate student, it was one of the most profound readings I've ever read in my entire life. And it is this. She says, I was going to die, sooner or later, whether or not I had spoken. My silence did not protect me. Your silence will not protect you. We think of speech as a form of power, and professionally we know that that can achieve. The ancient Greeks believed that speaking was so much part of cultivating a sense of power and leadership, they sought to ensure that every educated citizen in their society learned how to form arguments and speak in the public square. The Romans took that and advanced it so much that they believed that every citizen, whether powerful or not, should learn how to speak in public because they knew it was how leadership was formed. And in fact, their desire to see every citizen go through a study of rhetoric ultimately led to the first public school, which we can trace on an intellectual history from there to here. Our ability to speak has shaped what we know from society and our education. Now, what changed my life was accepting and ultimately meeting a great teacher by the name of Maggie O'Reilly, who in 9th grade sat me down, and I was going through a very dark time. My silence, my inability to speak, did not protect me. My silence made me a victim. I allowed people to taunt me. I allowed people to hold myself back. I behaved differently. I walked slower. I held my head down. I never spoke out in class. I never engaged with people. I was at my lowest moment possible. And she sat me down and she goes, I think there's an organization that's really good for you. It's called Speech and Debate. I thought, I don't like speaking to people, and you want me speaking in front of people. And I was okay with theater, because theater is awesome because the lights are down. And also, someone else is giving you lines. You don't have to be you, you're literally someone else. And then I never have to see people's reaction. It's awesome. But suddenly getting up and actually talking about something I thought, I don't know how to do that. When we're afraid of something, there are two things that we can do. The first is we can move towards transformation, and second, we can embrace our differences. First, moving towards transformation. When we move towards the things that make us uncomfortable, we gain a sense of mastery and power over that thing. I was afraid to get up and speak in front of people. So you know what I did? Every single weekend, I got on a terrible, smelly bus with a bunch of people who smelled like Funyuns and lack of body odor, and went to different high schools where they would get up and they would give us a topic, and we had 5 minutes to prepare a speech, and then we had to get up and just do it in front of people. It was terrifying. The first time I got up, my hands shaked like I had a long history of alcoholism. I just couldn't figure out, no matter what this was doing, this was going all over the place. It was awful. But it got better, and it got easier, and suddenly, through spirits of osmosis, you learn to get a little better. What I learned from dealing with and talking to people of different success levels in their life, one of the aha moments I've had, is that almost everyone who's achieved monumental amounts of success was because they had a fundamental transformation in their life. They went from being unable to do something to being able to do it in a relatively short period of time. When you learn to conquer the things that you're most afraid of, you realize that there's absolutely nothing else you can't do. And that changed everything for me. It made me more accepting. It made me realize that I was responsible for my own sense of happiness. One of the weird things that we do is your entire life as young people, you have had somebody always watching over you telling you, hey, how are you doing? Do you like school? Do you like what you're studying? How's school going? How is that? Do you like it? Do you like it? Do you like it? The minute you graduate college, all of that stops. And suddenly people aren't asking you if you like what you're doing anymore. And then you realize you're the only one responsible for making sure that you're happy. Which means you have to take risks. You have to move towards the things that make you uncomfortable. Sometimes the things that make us most comfortable won't make us content. I thought of myself when I decided to quit my job and go to graduate school and become a professor here at the University of Alabama. Also involving lots of talking in front of people. And the whole time I did it, you had this horrible sense of imposter syndrome. That, oh, they're going to realize that I don't really know what I'm talking about. Or, oh, I've just convinced my faculty members that I'm smart. I'm really, really stupid. And they'll never figure it out. And at each stage of the game, every time, whether I was doing my master's thesis or my doctoral dissertation, it was this crippling anxiety of this is going to be the moment where they're going to realize the fraud that I am. But you move towards the things that make you uncomfortable. You try as hard as you can to accept the things you can't change and move towards the things that you can. A second example that happened from my life was I was always very unathletic. Again, child with a lisp. Sports, not the gig. And I realized that I was pretty unhealthy during my doctoral program. I was eating a personal pan pizza every day for lunch and 3 Diet Mountain Dews a day. Not so great for any part of your body. And I realized that there were things I didn't know how to do. Once I realized that changing how I went from not speaking to speaking, I learned I could transform any other part of myself. By doing the exact same thing. I moved towards the things I was uncomfortable with. I started running. I downloaded apps. I surrounded myself with the best people. So move towards the people that are better than you in everything. They're going to make you better. One example of this was I didn't know anything about lifting weights. Lifting weights is terrifying. Once again, child with a lisp. Gym class, checked out. But every day I said, okay, I'm going to try to go to the restroom. And I noticed that there was this person there that was jacked. He was super fit. And I was like, okay, that person seems like he knows what he's doing. So I just moved towards the things I was uncomfortable with, and I walked up to him and I said, hey, you look like you know what you're doing. Can I literally follow you around for a week and just do everything that you're doing? And he was like, sure. And slowly but surely, I got better, I got stronger, and now I work out with that person about 5 days a week. These forms of transformation, during that process, I lost about 60 pounds. But from that, it wasn't really about changing my body in some specific way. It was about learning that I can transform myself into whatever I wanted me to be, and how we can do that. Similarly, you can transform the world that you're a part of by exercising your own sense of agency. There's nothing that is stopping you from doing whatever you want to do, which sounds like a radical statement. And the first thing most of you are thinking is, yeah, but this, yeah, but that, yeah, but this experience, and yeah, but that experience. And I get all of those things. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It just means eventually it's going to be worth it. Now we know that when we are afraid to speak, it holds us back. But if we speak out, we can gain our sense of self. The last thing I want to cover with you tonight is how you can speak up and embrace your sense of voice. And we're going to do this through 3 main ways. The first of which is you have to embrace your platform. You have access to more information now than at any other time in human history, which means that your value is no longer going to be based upon your ability to know information. When information is easy and accessible to access, you're no longer going to be valuable based on what you know. You're going to be valuable based on what you can explain. You're going to be valuable by what you can make meaningful to other people. As a result, you all, each of you, have some kind of platform. It used to be that if you wanted to broadcast yourself, you had to launch a literal satellite into space and then have all this complicated equipment to get your message out of the cosmos. Now, you have a TV station in your phone. Like a fully operational TV station is in your pocket at all points in time. Similarly, many of you are participating in this undergraduate research conference, and you think to yourself, oh, this is just kind of like geeky and nerdy. One thing I want you to understand, that there's one thing about your college experience that can't be replicated in any other way. Lots of college can be replicated in other avenues. You don't need college to get a job. There are many different ways you can do that. You don't need college to create social experiences with other people. You can party when you are out of school. It's more fun because you have money. The one thing that can't be replicated in any other part of your life is the ability to sit in rooms and discuss ideas without consequence. That's the only part of college that's worth the $100,000 you all are paying. This is the time of your life where you should be eating out. This is the time of your life where you should be talking about the things that you think are nerdy, because you're the only one that's going to care about that. This is the time of your life where you should be reading all the time. Do you understand how much time you have? You have more time now than you will ever have. And I know you're thinking, but I'm so busy. But you're not. You really aren't. Ask someone who's over the age of 45, and they'll tell you what busy is like. Use this time to create a sense of a platform. Use this conference to talk about the things that matter to you, to take it upon yourself, because somewhere, someone is hungry for the knowledge you have. Audre Lorde, in the same essay, she says, what are the words you do not yet have? What are the tyrannies you swallow day by day until you sicken and die? Think about the message that you have, the knowledge that you offer to the world, and challenge yourself to speak on that as often as possible. Create that sense of platform for yourself, and it attracts other people. Don't worry about what other people think, because the things that make you different are going to be what make you powerful. The shape of my life, moving from being afraid to speak, is now the thing that I literally make my living on. I help people speak all the time. And I do that because I truly believe that the ability to give information to other people is the pathway towards success. I was a first-generation college student. Nobody in my family had ever gone to school. And if it wasn't for that woman sitting me down and helping me find speech and debate, I wouldn't have gotten my scholarship to go to college. I would never have been able to get my job. I would never have been able to be the first person in my family who's not on some kind of government assistance. None of that would have been possible if we had someone not allowed me to get the platform and for me to make the most of those opportunities. Think about every opportunity that is given to you and try to raise yourself to the level of that. Be excellent. Don't be afraid to be good at things. And yeah, risking something comes with some kind of danger. I'm going to put myself out there, and then people might make fun of that. Well, okay, well then you're going to fail. But you're going to learn. My first time speaking, I was horrible. Horrible. Truly, truly bad. But you get better by constantly doing. So constantly put yourself out there. Constantly say yes to as many things as possible. Second, I want you to think about meaning with meaning. If information is no longer the main stock value, meaning and how you provide it to other people is going to be the ways in which you get at it. So think about how you can frame your life in ways and think about the information, how you make that meaningful to other people. Leading with meaning means taking the most of the opportunity. So the next time you're in a meeting and no one's really taking an ownership role, get up and speak. Figure out ways to get yourself in front of other people. That will allow you to be thought of as an expert and a thought leader in whatever you're talking about. Suddenly, when people have questions, they're going to go to the person who's up in front of people and not the person who sat in the back waiting for someone to ask you what you're interested in. Put yourself out there. Let people know what you want to do. If you want to have a career in the fashion industry, every person you meet should tell them, I have a career in the fashion industry. Guarantee you that person is going to know somebody, know somebody, know somebody, and before you know it, you're closer to where you want to go. Finally, and most importantly, I want to give you this. If you are a person like me who self-doubts, who has driven by fear, that causes you to feel like, I don't know, I'm the person that's supposed to talk about this. I'm supposed to be the person who's supposed to hold this in. I want you to remember this. You are enough. You're enough. If you think you're too young, you're wrong. Every major social movement that's changed society was started and founded and moved by young people. John Lewis, when he marched across the Independence Bridge to protest civil rights in 1960, was 20 years old. Malala Yousafzai was 13 when she stood up to the Taliban and got shot in the face and survived the terrorist attack. The individuals who faced police dogs and fire hoses as they marched to protest segregation on the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham were 18 years old. There's nothing that you can't do that they don't have half the capacity to do that. And whatever it is, you are enough. You are. You are enough. There's nothing stopping you, which is weird to say because everybody loves to complain. They love to talk about all the problems that they have. But part of understanding and internalizing the idea that you are enough is speaking positively. Speaking positively about what you're going to do. Speaking positively about the world you want to create. Speaking positively about the space you want to be for other people. It's way harder to have a positive outlook than to sit back and be cynical. We're real good at tearing stuff down. We're not good at building stuff up. What it's going to take is an entire group of people who says, I am enough, and speaks up and speaks to the things that they need to when they need to speak it. Today we talk about fears. How fear functions in our society to hold us back. Talk about how we can speak up, run towards the things that make us uncomfortable. And finally, how we can embrace our own voice and use our platform to get the most out of it that we can. There is so much that you can do, and I'm so excited to see what you have out there. You have something that very few people in this world have, and that's access to an education. Right now, there were a group of women who were kidnapped in West Africa, 200 of them, because they wanted to go to school. You have power. Words have power. Speech has power. The way you talk has power. But be careful that the most powerful speech you put is one on yourself. You tell yourself what you can't do and you'll be accurate. Tell yourself what you can do and you'll be able to achieve something. All that you have to do is speak. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for coming out tonight and listening to our amazing speakers. We still have some food in the back and some sweet tea if y'all are interested. Dr. Russell, do you have something to say?
There's nothing, I think, that's more exciting than coming to an event like this and walking away feeling informed, motivated, empowered, and inspired. And our three speakers today talking about their very commitment that I've worked with Dr. Brooks for years, and I could listen to him all day. And it was so exciting to hear from Alex and Katie today. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to work with Sarah, kicking off our undergraduate research and creative activity conference starting tomorrow at 8:30 in the Ferguson Center. We have 90-minute research sessions, 8:30 to 10, 10:30 to 12, 12:30 to 2, and 2:30 to 4, where many of our students will be getting the opportunity to speak for the first time about their research. I hope you will show up and support them at that. Thank you for coming tonight. As Sarah said, grab a lot of food and a plate and take it with you. Thank you so much. Have a great night.